Rob, last game of the schedule season, you know you're in the playoffs, but you go to Quins with plenty to play for still.
Oh, that's right. I mean, it's a huge game for us. I mean, it's a very important game for Harlequins. Probably hence why it's been put on TV this week. It pretty much is the game of the round in a lot of ways, isn't it? We're fighting for something very special for us, which is a home semi-final here at Sandy Park, and obviously Harlequins, something that's very important for all of us in the Premiership is that top-flight European competition, and obviously there's the added incentive for Harlequins that they're saying goodbye to Conor O'Shea at the end of the season. So we know it's going to be a tough game, but I actually think mentally and physically we prepared pretty well. We obviously know we had a tough game at the weekend, but I think we're bouncing through that quite well. And it's been nice to train here this week. The weather's been good. Obviously, we're anticipating the weather being pretty decent at the weekend. And I think the important thing for us is not to get too carried away with talking about a fantastic game of rugby. It's a little bit more important about us talking about just making sure we get the bits and pieces right, which is the quality of our defence, which was outstanding at the weekend, our physicality around the breakdown, and basically the basics of how hard we're actually prepared to work.
You talked about your side hitting a peak at a nice time, and a fully fit squad as well. I know you got bumps and bruises, but you're in a good place.
Yeah, we're pretty good, and we've got plenty of options. And I think whether we take some of those options to freshen things up a little bit and just add in those, that bit of liveliness into the legs, will be tough decisions for us. I think we've got a very strong group of players at the moment, and I'm expecting them all to play a full part right through to the end of the season. And if we expect them to play a full part, we've got to trust some of them to come into the 23 and do a good job for us. But at the moment, I think things are interesting for us. Like I say, we've almost got to lock down and, I say, not get carried away, get our feet back on the ground, because it's great to be in a semi-final. It's a huge achievement for us, but I said before the Wasps game that I want the players to challenge themselves to get more and more at this time of the season, and not just go, it's great, we've got a semi-final, let's enjoy it. It's not really about that. It's now about, we've achieved something, we've got the opportunity to achieve something else, then we'll have the opportunity to achieve something else, and we really should be putting pressure on ourselves to play the best rugby of the season.
Obviously boys are getting more experience year on year, but you've got those guys that have been in this scenario before, of being in the semi-final and getting to a final of the Premiership. They know what to do now, and that must be invaluable to you.
Well, we'll see if we know what to do, because the proof of the pudding will be how we turn up on Saturday. We're going away to another Premiership side, which is a challenge in itself at any time of year, and we're going to have to be mentally absolutely spot on to get what we want out of the game. So we will see at the weekend whether we're right where we need to be, because that is the challenge for us as a club. The challenge for us as a club isn't to be in a semi-final anymore. We've achieved that. We've still got the challenge to say, we're the kind of club who can drive home a home semi-final, and then when that semi-final comes around, then the challenge is, can we see if we can win a semi-final? So the challenges of whether we can do it are ahead of us. They're exciting ones, and they're ones I want us to approach absolutely flat out, and not be looking back afterwards going, I wish we just tried a bit harder, or I wish I'd just taken a bit more fuller part in the game, or we could have been a little bit better. I don't. What will be. But let's make sure we leave it all out on the field.
You were probably giving food for thought with Monday's performance as well, with selection, but just talk through the Braves season.
Well, I think the Braves, we've had a fantastically strong squad this season who've done fantastically well and worked extremely hard together in all the competitions. We've changed up players within the Champions Cup. Changing up players within the Champions Cup gave us a fantastic opportunity to get to the quarter-final. The squad have been strong. They've had a great attitude at training week in, week out. I always say, the guys who are not in the 23 are often the most important people, because they prepare the frontline 23 to go out and play well. And I think the last couple of weeks have been great examples of that. The lads involved in the A-League semi-final and final have played well in those games, but they've also trained fantastically well. And in some ways, I actually think the non-23 in the build-up to the Wasps game last week, was the best I've seen them train and prepare the opposition. They ran like wasps for 5 days in preparation to help those frontline guys get ready, and there's no secret that really helped us put in a good performance, and we've got to make sure we demand that of ourselves as a squad right to the end of the season, because there's a few weeks left now. There's still a bit more to come. It's not all like, well done boys, tap on the back after Harlequins. There's always going to be another game. So we're in a good place. The boys are in a good. It's been nice that the squad have been involved in games. But like I say, now we've got to knuckle down, we've got to toughen up, and we've got to go and rip things away from other teams.
And you've got one or two lads that you'll be bidding farewell to, and it was a nice swan song for them in some respects.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not too many. I mean, we're a pretty stable squad, and obviously we've got our kind of a club awards night tomorrow night, where we'll talk about the guys we're leaving, and obviously pay them the respect that they deserve for what they've achieved here at the club and the efforts they've put in. But at this moment, it's not really a time for looking back at the moment. It's a time for looking forward, and that's what I want to do. And I want the players to make sure they're looking forward and not looking back and feeling too happy with what they've achieved. I want them to be looking forward and being desperate for what they still can get out of this season.